What's good, guys? Charles coming at you here with a post-commentary duel video from our locals before Christmas. Also, guys, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate and Happy Holidays to those holidays that are coming up to people who have them coming. On the left, on the Quay mat, we have Shane piloting MathMech, and on the right, we have Taylor playing Salamangreats. And yeah, so we're going to get the game started off here with a normal summon of Spinny and go ahead and go into Baylines and get the play started out. MathMech, people have been wanting to see this deck, and finally we're able to get a recording of it. We should have a deck profile and combo segment coming up for the deck here soon, because Shane went really deep in the deck and got some pretty interesting combos going with it. So anywho, remember to check out our sponsors. Link will be in the description below, and yeah, let's keep going. So we're going to see Mirage Stalio activate its effects, which should pretty much get one from the deck, but I think Shane ashed it, which was a pretty good call. Also, the new Master Rule revision. We'll maybe go into a more in-depth thought of what I think of that. I'm a pretty big fan of it. However, it doesn't really change like my favorite deck, which is Crusadia. The Crusadia still does the same thing. I think that it just makes certain decks like MathMech here stronger, because as you will see, they're going to kaiju the Sunlight Wolf, and it just allows like certain decks like this that are restricted to link monsters, like how MathMech's here are restricted to putting their big boss monster Final Sigma in the extra deck monster zone to make it unaffected. It just kind of unhinders that, if that makes sense. And like certain decks, like of course that's been on the rage, has been DDDs and whatnot, and I've had the ability to playtest against those decks at their full power recently, and they're pretty scary. I think more so it's just interesting to see the amount of fun decks that are coming, so that we can get some change in this format. So we're going to see Adion special summon himself, now locking him into Cybers. He's going to activate the MathMech Monster Reborn, and we're going to see a Synchro summon into probably Final Sigma. Final Sigma is one heck of a boss card. So Final Sigma is going to touchdown. Nabla Multiplication is going to activate, giving him the Final Sigma 2 attack and doubling his attack, I believe. He's going to attempt to swing, but into main phase, he's going to try to rock. However, the rock is not going to get rid of Sigma, because Sigma is unaffected by card effects. It is a powerful card. Being able to be unaffected by card effects is pretty big. It's probably right now before the Master Rule revision gets here, it's probably one of the only ways that the deck can hardly survive. It's one of the I think people are saying it's one of the best strategies out of Mystic Finders, but I would argue and say that Generators are on par with that, just for the ability that Generators have the rank 9 package to make VFD and all those King of Chlamydia and all that type of stuff. But moving on through the plays here, Taylor just reading the card. Yes, Taylor, it is that busted of a card. And now he only has a small token there on top of a Final Sigma. And Taylor checking the graveyard, correcting that the mini Sigma has to be banished when it leaves the field. Let's see here. I really do like the MathMechs. They're probably outside. Like, I've been thinking about picking up Generators for a little bit, but like MathMechs are really cool too. I like the artwork on the MathMechs. I love the artwork on the Generators. And we have a ban list coming too, which we will probably hold out on the ban list prediction, or do our local, whatever you call it, our local feud, where we have players from our locals debate what cards will be banned, limited, or semi-limited, just because I understand, like, I try not to make the channel do everything that everybody's doing. Like, as soon as the Master Rule was released, everybody was going out there, and I did not want to be a bandwagoner and just go on about it, so I figured I'd release my opinion on a later date. And similar to the ban list, we're waiting for the ban list. There have been plenty of ban list discussions and ban list stuff, so I figured we'd wait for that. So Taylor's kind of in a tough grind here, trying to figure out how to get rid of this Final Sigma, because Sigma being unaffected is a pretty big rock to move for Salamangreats. We're going to see a typical, what do you call it, he got his board broken, and he's just going to be able to rebuild it with the greatest of ease. They're going to quickly open their packs in the middle of the match. Actually, believe it or not, I got an ultimate rare Twin Twister, so I was pretty happy. I never get anything really nice from the OTS packs. I'll take that back. I get a few things, but I never get what I want or what I need. However, I'm very excited. I ended up pulling 2 Crusadia Leonis from this tournament, so I got to get one more, and I'll probably be getting that the next time I can make it to locals. He's going to end up making Hita to summon back the addition, or I really name changes, man. It should have been Addion, but he's going to summon back the addition. I don't know if they have any way to particularly out the Sigma, to be honest with you. Since it's in the extra monster zone, it is unaffected by other card effects besides MathMech. So, like, unless he can make something bigger than 35. Or, well, I guess it's just 3,000, never mind. I guess he's going to tribute summon for the Rock. And then when Sigma gets destroyed, Sigma allows them to search any MathMech card from the deck, which is probably going to grab him the Searchable Monster Reborn. Yep, right there it is. I forget what it's called. I'm horrible at math, if you catch my pun. So Shane's going to draw for turn. The Taylor only has a Hita on field, which isn't too bad. The token's going to be switched to attack. It looks like he has a Salamangreat in his hand as well. He could potentially use the Monster Reborn, so the MathMech Monster Reborn, to bring back Sigma, which is what he's going to do. No response. Sigma touches down, not in the extra monster zone, meaning it can be affected by other monster effects. He's going to attack with the token, destroying the Hita. Hita should get an effect to search or add. Should. Yep, he gets to add, I think, any fire monster from his deck to his hand. So he's adding Gazelle. Then as soon as damage is being calculated, he is going to, I do believe, swing in with the final Sigma. I think he's swinging in with the final Sigma. He should. Maybe he already did. Yeah, he must have already have. I couldn't imagine him not swinging in with a 3,000 beat stick. So now that the Salamangreat player has Gazelle into his hand, he's going to use Circle. Circle is going to bring back the Stalio. Not Circle, that's Will, to bring back the Stalio. He's just confirming that now Final Sigma can be affected by card effects. He's going to leak 2 into what I would believe is to be Sunlight Wolf. He's going to use Stalio to shuffle back the token. Interesting play. I wonder if he read I wonder if he missed the part where Final Sigma is affected by card effects now. We're seeing Jaguar, who has the moves like Jagger, coming up from the graveyard, I believe. Signet Mining, pitching the Gazelle he was able to add back to search for Spinny. Spinny going to be pitched to give the Sunlight Wolf an additional attack. He's going to bring additional, like, 500 attack, I believe. He's going to link off the Spinny and the Sunlight Wolf. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to give it... Alright, so he is going to link off the Spinny and the Sunlight Wolf into Heat Leo. Heat Leo's going to be reincarnated Link. He's going to probably switch the attack with Balinks. Jaguar is going to attack, and then Heat Leo should swing in as well. He's going to get Final Sigma from Sigma from Final Sigma being destroyed, and Heat Leo is now going to swing in for his 23, I believe. But what do you guys think of the new revision to the Master Roll? I would like you to put your feedback in the comments below and let me know. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with it, not gonna lie. However, it's not the way I would have gone about it, but however, like, I think it just gives more decks definitive types, if that makes sense. So like now decks are not like required to be a Link deck. Like I said, like DDDs and Synchron's and all these like popular strategies, they don't have to play Link Monster to play, whereas like card decks like Crawler, Crusadia, World Chalice, they're now more defined as a Link deck versus every deck has to play Links. That they're more unique. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not gonna lie. It legitimately doesn't hinder any of my decks. It makes my Crystron deck stronger. And I think I will have a Crystron combo / test hand video come up soon. I did some revisions to that deck. Thank you guys for the comments for that. And I actually played it at this tournament here and got 4th place with it. However, I was able to see some of the changes that needed to be made. So I made them. So stay tuned for that. And it looks like multiplication is going to be normal summon, and Addion is going to be targeting the multiplication, giving it 1,000 attack and summoning it. Sigma is going to be special summon, no response from Taylor. Synchro summon of another Final Sigma. Multiplication, doubling its attack. He just gets to whack over anything for like double damage, which is good enough for game. Moving on into the second game, MathMech's taking a swift, not really a swift, but a kind of a grindy game 1, showing the resilience of Salamangreats. We're going to start out here with Saladmangreat pitching the Spinny, which is always good to, I assume, get the Gazelle, and then Gazelle will trigger, summoning itself to probably, my guess would be Rage or Roar. We'll see. So there we go. Gazelle coming down, dumping Rage. Rage is a busted card. Really good for the deck. Spinny and Gazelle is going to end up making Mirage Stalio. Stalio is going to detach the Gazelle to summon out the Jaguar. I'm going to see a Link summon into the Sunlight Wolf. Interesting, he didn't go for the Balinks. But we're going to see a lot of recursion from the Salamangreat side. There's the Balinks. Balinks effect will add him Sanctuary. Shane just patiently waiting over here. He's going to try and make a... The good thing about playing OTK decks is like you really honestly don't kind of care what the board your opponent plays. Like you just like hope you open enough hands to beat through it. So it's like put out whatever you want out there. Just as long as I have enough cards to beat through it, that's not going to be a problem. So we see I think that's a Sunlight Wolf with 3 set. He's going to Cosmic Cyclone the face down, which is going to be, I think, an Artifact Sanctum, which will be chained to it. Summoning out Scythe, which is detrimental to Shane's strategy. Uh-oh. This actually might almost wrap it up. Because, believe it or not, Salamangreats can put out a lot of damage. Pot of Desire is going to be activated. Shane is going to banish and then get to draw 2. That is going to be met with Salamangreat Roar. Uh-oh. It looks like Shane's hand's kind of good, too, as far as MathMech is concerned. Like, that seems like he has a pretty solid hand. Saladmangreat, pitching multiplication, is going to grab him Nabla, maybe? Sigma? Addition. Addition is such a cool artwork. I'm very, very jealous. He's going to kaiju over the Sunlight Wolf. He's going to add on to the scythe, I believe. And he's going to subtract the Humongous. Then he's going to add on to his own subtraction, swinging over. Oh no. Met with Rage. So Rage is going to end up popping the subtraction, which I do believe would have been 2,000, which would have been big enough to smack over either or, depending on what he chose to subtract. Circle's going to be activated, and it's not looking good for Shane. He now gave him a huge kaiju, so we're actually just going to see them wrap it up and go into game 3. So we're getting close on time here. Players are aware of that time is getting close, so this is where OTK decks really thrive in the sense of time, because we can put enough damage. If it might not be enough to OTK, but it's enough to put damage on to where when time is called, we have the higher life points. We're going to see Signet Mining to get the pitch the Foxy. He's going to use Will to summon back the Foxy, triggering the... I guess he's triggering the Gazelle on the Signet. Shane's letting him do it, which is all right. It's locals. Like I said, people kind of take locals really seriously when locals is just a testing ground. We're just supposed to go there and test ratios, test strategies, test combos, but people always want to do good at locals, so they kind of forget that it's a testing ground for the players to go and play at higher events, and also for the locals and the casual players to come and play and have fun. Link 2 into Sunlight Wolf. Sunlight Wolf is going to trigger and add him back. Or no, never mind. He's not going to... Sunlight Wolf isn't triggering yet. He's going to summon the moves like Jagger to get himself Gazelle back to his hand. He's going to turn the Jaguar into Balinx, the wheelchair cat. Balinx is going to grab him Sanctuary, which will allow him to reincarnate Link the Sunlight Wolf. Link 2. It looks like he's not even going to reincarnate. He's just going to go ahead and hard link the Sunlight Wolf. Adding back Roar, excuse me. And we're going to see a Pot of Desires as well. -9. Draw 2, and potentially draw into more hand trap / back row for the Salamangreat player, which is what makes this deck still so good, is the fact that you only need 1 to 2 Salamangreats in order to combo off, and the rest of the cards in your deck can be just hand traps and other traps. And we're going to see a Falco come out and a Jaguar be normal summoned. Taylor just confirming that he has not normal summoned, making Abyss Dweller, which will stop the Sigma. And potentially, I think the grave effects of the MathMechs. I've contemplated putting Abyss Dweller into multiple of my decks just because of how strong it is. However, just weird ratio, weird combination. So we're going to see Subtraction come down, subtracting 1,000 attack from probably the Sunlight Wolf. They're going to read Taylor's going to read Subtraction. Time is getting closer in the round here, and Subtraction is going to go back down. He's going to attempt to roar, and I think time is being called right now. So that's why they're throwing down their hands. He had roar to negate something, so I think time was just too close to time for Shane to be able to put out damage. However, I do not know. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching.